Hello, everyone. Hello. We're live. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday, you guys. The last Sunday of January. Boy, oh boy. Guys, can you believe that? Can you really believe that is the end of February? January already. Yes, guys. It's the end of January. We are moving into the second month of 2021. How is everybody? Thank God we are alive. Thank you for joining. Thank you for tuning in wherever you are joining from. Morning, afternoon, night. I know that we all have different time zones. So thank you guys and welcome. If you stumble into this channel for the first time, I am Katia Valino. I am a Nigerian Toronto based YouTuber, social media influencer, call it whatever you want to call it. I am an Igbo babe. So don't worry about the name. Sometime Sunday we should discuss about the name. So guys, if you are new here, please consider clicking that red button and subscribing. I'm talking to the people on YouTube. Yes, so you are looking at me either from YouTube or from Facebook. So if you are watching this video from Facebook, remember, endeavor to also follow me on my YouTube channel. That's my living room. You know how you have living room and then you have family room, right? So YouTube is my domain, right? And then Facebook, YouTube is my living room. Facebook is my kitchen, right? So this is the core. The base is YouTube. So guys, if you're watching from Facebook, remember to also join my growing family on YouTube. You guys that has always followed me, I love you guys. God bless you for always following me. On Sundays, usually I host this show with Vivian Williams. If you are following me, you apparently know Vivian Williams for our Sunday show, but unfortunately today she's not on seat. So somebody else will be joining me in a very short time. As you guys have looked at the title, it's going to be a very sizzling title. When I tell you, because most of the time we are consumed in where we live, right? We live in North America. Even though we're Nigerians, we are very privileged to be on social media, to have data, to be enlightened, to be educated, to know what is going on in the world. But apparently, there are so many people that don't know what is going on in the media world because they are also in their own bubbles. And they look at us as being in our own bubbles as well. So there are so many things going on out there. And this is why I want to get somebody that is really very versed in this topic that I'm going to be talking about today. So guys, please share while I get my next guest into the room. Share, like. Thank you, Coco Mama, Ify, Nancy. Thank you so much. Worship Media is here. Coco Mama, Worship Media is here. Wow, thank you. Thank you so much for tuning in, for joining. And Happy Woman, thank you so much. Giving you guys shout out. You guys know, if you are not from Nigeria, please let me see your hands up. I love you guys. I know Nigerians, like we are used to, some of us are used to. Hold on. Hey girl. Okay. Yeah, the guest is coming in. Yes. She'll be here in the next 2 minutes, she said. So I love so much to engage people that are not mostly from Africa, because they really need to hear what we have to talk about here, right? Most of us, even I am so shocked by the information that I got today from the next guest, some of the things, how marriages work in her own area. She's also a Nigerian, and we will hear that from horse's mouth. Marriage is not a child's play. and the way Africans or Nigerians perceive marriage or do their traditions, right? It is so, every African country is so different. Being a Nigerian, being an Igbo, I am so shocked from what the next guest told me about what is how marriage work in their own place. But like I said, we have to hear it from the horse's mouth. So, however, Amos, hi Amos, Amy, thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining. Guys, please help us, help us. When I say us, this video, this channel is not my channel alone. Without you guys, this channel will not be where it is today. So help us get this channel to the next level by liking, comment, share. We all have social media platforms, and sometimes we think that we're selfish, right? We don't want to share so that we don't want to get other people to know what is going on here. But you might be making a mistake that when you share, you might be helping somebody get more information and more sight of what is going on in the social media world or what is going on in other culture, in other traditions is very important. Yesterday, we hosted an amazing show with Coco Mama and Chi Kelly again about some things that a lot of us don't know about marriage. So it's different kinds of segments. And for some of you who don't know, this channel is mostly relationship and a little bit of fashion and skincare, about 10 or 20%. So everything you need to know about your marriage, about your relationship, you will get it from this channel. I am not like, I don't know everything, and this is why I try to bring guests here who can help me explain about what is going on. I don't know it all, and a lot of people, everybody doesn't know it all. So if I'm gonna sit here and claim and pretend that I know everything, I don't know everything. Even the things that are going on in Igbo land, my own land, Gogo. I spoke to a guy today, an Igbo guy. He was supposed to also call in. The things he told me really shocked me. I am telling you, sometimes we sit down and when we hear some of the traditions, we say, oh, it used to be in the olden days. Some of these things doesn't exist anymore. It still exists. It still exists. So whether we like to believe it or not, we are so privileged to be in this part of the world where we think that, oh, the Igbo land, everything is rosy for us because we live here. There are so many people out there in the African world who cannot, sorry. I'm checking my people on Facebook. Yes, I'm checking my people on Facebook. So you guys know that Nigeria has different tribes and tradition, right? Most popularly, it is the Northerners, who are mostly, vast percentage of them are the Muslims, and then the Easterners, which are the Igbos, and then the North were the Southerners, right? There is the Southerners who's here. So there's Igbos, there's Yorubas, there is Hausas, three main languages, and now Edo also have their own special tradition, marriage tradition, which is the person I'm trying to bring in is from Edo, so she can explain more about that. So while we're waiting for her, you might start getting your questions ready. It doesn't matter, even though you must have heard or know certain things about the culture and tradition in Africa, in Nigeria. So first of all, let me go ahead and explain to you guys, coming from Igbo and from the eastern part of Nigeria. And when I say the marriage, we're talking about culture, tradition that exists in marriage. Coming from Igbo land, when you are married and your husband dies, passes away, his brother, yeah, you guys know that, right? His brother can marry you. And there is no question No question. In the last video, when I did talk with Coco Mama and Chika, I was on a little bit of the defensive side where I said, oh, it used to be in the olden days. No, it still works because people are in the village. There are women who don't even have cell phone. They cannot come to social media. They don't understand what social media is. That culture still exists. They still do it. The culture still exists. If your husband is no more there, his brother or even his uncle or somebody from the neighborhood will marry you just because you lost your husband. It still exists 100%. Speaking to somebody today in Nigeria, in the village, in Igbo, from the eastern part of Nigeria, original Igbo Gogo, he said that those things still exist. Sometimes men will even kill themselves over somebody's wife, a wife that the husband died. You will see men, 3, 4, 5 men fighting to acquire that woman. And it's not that the men that are fighting to acquire the woman doesn't have wife. Most of them still have 2, 3, 4 wives. But you will see them struggling to acquire the woman that lost her husband to be either second, third, or fourth wife. Those things still exist. It's a tradition. It is a tradition in Igbo land. So whether we like to believe it or not, don't come here and say, oh, it doesn't exist because we have all the wig and makeup and we forget that the tradition still exists. There is another big tradition. I don't know if you're not from Igbo land. Tell me, because while we are waiting for the next guest and talking to you guys, another tradition that is in Igbo land is when a woman marries a woman. This woman marrying a woman doesn't have anything to do with gay or lesbian. I know I did a video last year. I touched about that. Growing up, just our next door neighbor, just, the one fence like divide us, right? She married a woman marrying a woman. Why do women, like I said, it's not about gay or lesbian. I was meant to understand, okay, this woman that married a younger woman never had a husband. She was never married. She was single, but she made so much money. So she wants to retain her father's last name, and she wants her father's last name to ever exist. So she married a younger woman. And you know what happens? At night, different men will come and sleep with the woman so that she will get pregnant and have children, and so that family's name will expand. I knew this one from growing up. I see that with my koro eyes, but I really didn't understand why a woman will marry a woman until my mother explained and say, you know what, this auntie here has so much money. She was never married. She didn't have kids. So she married a younger girl. She married, I think Chichi was maybe 18 years then, or maybe 17. So another woman married her, and different men will come and take turns at night to sleep with her. And she made children. And the children she made, I think she made 4 children. The children she made will bear the husband's last name. And who is the husband? Another woman. So those 4 children apparently have different fathers, different fathers, but they all answer the husband's last name, which is the madam that married her. And the madam, the husband is the madam. Are you guys understanding me? She have the choice to bring different men, the men of her choice, to sleep with her wife, her younger wife. Is the men she chooses that will sleep with her wife. It's a tradition. It's a culture. It still exists till today. Who here can attest to what I'm saying? Yes, it still exists today. So when this day and age, people will sit back and say, oh, I didn't know about that. Oh, it's an abomination. Oh, in our own eyes, we see that as an abomination. In their own eyes, it's a tradition, it's culture, it's how it is done. And then you ask another question. The young girl's parents, who knew that they were giving her out to another woman, where she will be sleeping with different kind of men, what are they thinking? We can ask those kind of questions because we see ourselves as civilized people, right? But it happens. Their parents will give them away to older women. When I'm telling you older women, this woman at that age should be in her maybe 60s because she's really old. She should be in her 60s. And then she married this young girl that is 16 or 17 or 18. And she that is 60 years old will choose the man to sleep with the younger wife, right? Now, apparently, I heard that the woman died. That's the husband. Now she died. And those 4 children that's supposed to belong to her, they are dragging. And the real men that slept with the young woman are coming now to say, this child here belongs to me. I slept with her. I know when she got pregnant. This child here that she have, it's my child. So do you see how chaotic this kind of tradition can be? Do you see how chaotic this can be? I don't know how people look at this whole scenario, but it does happen. Like I said, I am Igbo. I don't know if it happens in Benin, in Yoruba, or in Hausa. I don't know how that happens, but I'm speaking from experience and being an Igbo babe. This is how it works in Igbo land. Frances Chi, thank you for watching. Ose, Ugo, I would like to invite you on my Facebook page to talk about marriage. Ugo, anytime. Yes, I'm reading you guys from Facebook. Anytime, anytime. Yeah, just shout me out. Good evening, one name. Yes, Charity Ebo, you are watching. Thank you guys for the people from Facebook. So this is how it works, the two things, how it works in Igbo land. Then another one, which is still very popular and very common, which everybody knows about, is Igbo people can still marry one. It's not only Muslims. People in the village, they can still marry 1 or 2 wives. It's still out there, whether you are in the village or not. Everybody from Nigeria knows about the popular Ned Nwoko, who marries. He said that he doesn't date. He loves to marry younger ones. Younger ones mean people from 17 to 22. He is evil and he married so many wives. And we all get to know about him because he's very popular, he's famous, he's rich, he's politician, and this is the only way we got to know about him. Does this thing still exist in Igbo land? Yes, it does. We got to know about Ned Nwoko because he also married a Nigerian popular celebrity, and this is why everybody got to know about him. It looks like he's the only one that keeps marrying wives and younger women. He's not the only one. He is not the only one. He's not the only one, but like I said, because he has the money, everybody thinks that he's the only one. No, he's not the only one that marries women. And it's still ongoing. It's continuous. It keeps going. Now, let's talk about the people from the north, from the Hausa. This one is the one that really, really breaks my mind and my heart. The legal age to get married in Nigeria, legal, like from federal government, make the law, the legal age to marry somebody, to marry a wife in Nigeria is 14 years. When I tell you that the legal age is 14 years, and then if a 16 years old is marrying a 14 years old or 20 years old, then you can say, okay, maybe they're gonna grow into that. But a 70-year-old will marry a girl that is 14 years, and it's okay for them. And if she refuses to go to the old man's house, 50 years, 30 years, 40, 60, 70, even 80, if she refuses to marry somebody, a 13-year-old refuses to marry somebody that is 60 years old, her own parents, her own father can end her life just by saying no. Even her own siblings, her own brothers can end her life and decide, you know what, because you're 13 or 14 and you don't want to go and marry a man that is 60 years old, this is it for you. We are going to end your life. It happens in their culture. It happens whether you want to believe it or not. And then they can marry according to Muslim tradition because they are Muslims, right? Their tradition allows them to marry 4 wives. It's a tradition of the Muslims, and it is their tradition. It is their culture. It keeps going, and nothing is going to change that. That's another tradition. Now, let's talk about. I don't know if my guest is still coming because I really wanted. I wanted her to talk about this by herself. What she sent me today that I can talk about it, but I wanted to hear this from her. I really, really wanted to hear this from her. If in 2 minutes I'm going to read out exactly what she sent me in the message. So okay, so let's move on. Who here is from Rivers? Because I haven't really gotten somebody that can tell me how it works from Riverside, like Port Harcourt and the people from that end. Who here is from? Hello, hi, Jane Eze. I really don't know the tradition of the people from the Port Harcourt area. If you're from Nigeria, you will understand what I mean from people from Port Harcourt and Calabar side. These people, I don't know their tradition. I was not able to talk to somebody that come from that area. Now, let's talk about the Edo people. Coco Mama, I hope you're still here. And you guys, we have talked about this before. Edo people is the place where you get married as a man. Hello, you are entitled to cheating. You can cheat. You can have side chicks. You can have whatever you want to do. You can, if you have the guts, bring the side chick inside the house. You are entitled. Like when I say you are entitled, yes, it's a norm. But when the wife cheats, her children will die. Yeah, so let me explain this again to you guys. If my husband can cheat, it's okay. He can cheat. He's a man. He's the chief. He can have side chicks. He can do whatever he wants to do. He's entitled to that, right? When I cheat, I will lose my own children. And what I did can also affect my husband. He can even die because I cheated. But when he cheats, it's okay for him to cheat. Hello, everyone. Yes. Sorry, guys. Fiona is a little bit late. I'm going to introduce her, and then we're gonna go to where we stopped. Sorry, she's Fiona Brooks. She's one of the TV personnel. She has so many shows on TV. She's tuning in all the way from Calgary, Alberta. Calgary and Toronto have different time zones. I have to bother her to drag her into this show. It wasn't her time. She was just sleeping when I called her because I know that she's too versed in this topic that we're talking about here. And because Vivian is not here today, I wanted Fina to come up here and fill this chair for Vivian. And because she's a TV multimedia personnel, she has her own show. She has a talk show. She's a movie producer. She does so many things. If you guys are from Calgary, and you don't know Fiona Brooks, and if you are from Canada and you live anywhere in Canada and you don't know Fiona Brooks, you need to go and find out who she is. Fina, please tell people the name of the show so that people that live in this part of the world or in Calgary can also follow you on your show. I leave it for Fina.
Well, my name is Fiona Brooks. I'm a filmmaker, um, promoter. I call myself a cultural ambassador because I like promoting the African culture overseas and selling our culture to the people who otherwise will not know many things about the African culture. So I'm a mother, a grandmother, a wife, a friend, a sister, an aunt, and so many things to so many people. But most importantly, I am your sister.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I really applaud you for leaving your busy schedule because I know how busy you are. You were up all night doing some movie shooting, doing
Mm-hmm.
editing, doing so many things. And
Yes.
I tapped into your busy schedule. I applaud you and I am very grateful and very humble to have you on this show today. So, Fina, hi Chika, thank you. So what I was talking about, I already, because we're 20 minutes late already, right?
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
already spoke about the Igbos, how the brothers can marry the brother's wife
Mm-hmm.
if the main man dies and stuff like that. I also was talking about the Edo people, where if a woman, it's okay for a man to cheat, but if a woman cheats, she will lose her life, or the husband and the children will die, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I am going to leave it here because I want you to tap into the Edo system and tell people where you come from and how the tradition, because you're a traditionalist, you do
Mm-hmm.
culture, you're
Mm-hmm.
into culture, you know how marriage and other traditions work. So
Yes.
please lead us through and tell us a little bit of how marriages, tradition, culture works in your part of Nigeria.
Well, first of all, I'm from the former Bendel state, but now Delta state. Uh, and I'm an Yoruba woman, a proud Yoruba woman, and a proud Nigerian. Um, in lots of the cultures in the western part of Nigeria, I mean the southern part of Nigeria, are very similar. Uh, for example, the Edo and the Urobo, Isoko, the Delta. So basically, the former Bendel region, which comprises of the Urobos, Ishekiris, Ijos, Edo, Ishan, Esako, all those people, they predominantly similar. They have predominantly similar cultures, especially in marriages and tradition. So, for example, I mean, there's this tradition that has always been there. Whereas, if his son's wife, I mean, if his son dies and the father still lives, the father can pretty much marry the wife of the son who died. Or on the other hand, it can also happen the other way. So if a father dies, the son can inherit the wife of his father, and it still happens today. I mean, it's just it's so deplorably um, sick that they don't even give the woman a choice to say, you know what, you just lost a husband, you're now a widow. Why not, choose what you want? But they always dump the tradition on the woman, whereas they let the men go scot-free. You know, many a times, especially if there's a child involved, um, the child is obviously inherited by the man, the new husband, who happens to be a family member. It could even be an uncle, a cousin, a nephew, the father or the son, or a far away nephew, because he's the only male in the family. They just feel, oh, the woman has to stay in the family. It doesn't have to stay in the family. You can inherit the kids, like basically you can take care of the kids, but you don't need necessarily to entrap the woman in this marriage, especially if it's not convenient for her. And most of the time, this is done to younger women too, like women in their late teens and early 20s are subjected to this kind of entanglement. It's quite sad, and it still goes on today, 2021. Isn't
You
that
know,
sad?
I am shocked, like by what you said.
Mm,
If a guy dies,
mm.
his own father will marry his wife,
Yes, inherit. They call it inheritance.
inherit his wife, and start marrying your son's wife.
Yes,
And the son can also marry his father's wife.
yes,
Are
or
you
uncle's
mad?
wife. And
Huh?
sometimes the woman may even be older than like, let's say a father dies, and unfortunately, maybe the father is like 60s, in his 60s, and he has a young wife, maybe his youngest wife, who's maybe 18 or 20. Isn't that sad? And the son is 16 or 20 or so. Or maybe the woman, for example, let me give you a better example. So let's say the woman is 30. The husband, which is the father, used to be 60 or 65. And the father dies. And the son happens to be 25. And the wife is 30. That wife is considered younger to the man simply because she's a woman and the man is a man. So the wife is expected to kneel down for this young husband, 25-year-old, and she's 30. And a woman is not, a woman's age in our cultures don't matter. If you have, for example, now let me deviate a tiny bit. If you have a brother and you're the daughter, you have a brother who's younger than you. And for example, and then your father dies, and the father dies. That younger son, even if the son is 20 and you're 50 as a woman, that son is older than you. So
Mm-hmm.
you have to, the son makes all the decisions, even though you have to pay for everything. Even though you have to pay for the whole thing, the whole funeral and everything, that son is considered older than you because he's a man. It's still a very sad tradition, and it's time for it to change. At least let it evolve into allowing women to make decisions and allowing women to be leaders. Because we still, even in marriages, women, they say, oh, the man is the head of the family. The woman may be the breadwinner, but she has literally a quarter of a say in that relationship when it comes to real matters. So women need to be given a chance to lead a little bit. We're not saying we want to be the head of the family, God forbid. That's not what I'm insinuating. I'm just saying that women should be given opportunities to lead and also to make an impact, proper impact, not restrictive impact in society and especially in marriages. And to have a say when it comes to having being a widow, and you are now still forced to remain in that family, even if it's against your wish. I think it's quite sad.
Yes, Fina, I have two things that I need a little bit of clarification here
Mhm,
because I want the people that are listening to catch up with what we're talking about. When
mhm.
we talk about
Can
a
you
man,
turn the intensity down a bit from 100% to 80, please?
so when we're talking about a man dying and his son marries the father's wife, what we're talking
Mhm.
about here is
A
in
little bit more.
polygamy family,
Mm,
right? This is when a man have like multiple wives,
mm.
and then when he dies, a son from another woman can
Yes.
marry one of the wives.
Can marry? No, not just one, all of the wives.
Oh, but not her own mom. She can
No,
marry.
not the mom. No, the
Uh-huh.
mom is out. But
Yeah.
let's say the father had 3 or 4 wives, which
Mm-hmm.
it still happens today. I
Yeah.
don't know how they do it, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But if the father dies and he happens to be the only son, he can inherit, basically take over the wives apart from his mother, right? So the other three wives can be his. And if possible, if he has uncles, then they divide the wives amongst the
Right.
uncles.
They
Yeah.
divide the wives.
The wives are considered still, isn't that sad? In
It is.
2021, women are still considered property.
It is.
Like, because
Inheritance.
if you're not a property, why would you be an
Inheritance.
inheritance? Right? And they say, no, 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 it's not like that. But it is like that. The women are considered properties. Therefore, they are given away as inheritance. That's the only way I can conclude that.
So one thing I want to really that really baffles me. So the son will get into sexual intimacy with his father's women,
Stepmother.
with his
Hmm.
stepmother.
Yes.
Okay, will he still call them mom or wife?
No, never. As soon as the husband, the dad is dead, he's the husband, and they will kneel down for him and treat him
And
like he's
open
the
up
elder,
for him?
even if she's older than him.
And they can't say no to entanglement and stuff like that.
No, it's a it's a real entrapment, isn't it? It's called, and this happens predominantly these days in the villages, in the rural areas, because in the cities the girl will take off. The girl will be
That's
like, I'm
exactly
out of
what
here,
I'm
you
saying.
know.
That's
But if
that's
she has kids, then she's kind of stuck in this marriage. I mean, kind of stuck. It could be in the city or wherever. If she has children, she still has to take care of those kids. And if she has no means of livelihood, for example, if she didn't go to school or she barely went to school and she still needs to take care of the children, then she's still entangled. She's still trapped in this so-called marriage to the
so.
family. Because they say in Africa, you don't just marry the man, you marry the whole family. So
Mhm.
when the man dies, the family inherits you. So you're part of the
Inheritance.
furniture. You're basically an asset. You're just a piece of asset.
So they would divide. Do you guys hear that? If the man, like I said in the beginning, is still happening where man marries so many
Yes.
wives.
Yes.
It's everywhere in Africa. We can't, whether
Mm-hmm.
you are Hausa, you are Igbo, you are Yoruba, you're whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so many women are comfortable being second, third, four, five wives.
Yes.
But now the man dies, and there is his brother or his cousin that I really despise. I don't like that man coming over to our life. And then he's going to knock on the door and tell me to pack my bag. And from this night, I am going to be his wife.
Yes. It's a big deal because they have a meeting, family meeting, and before then, I'm sure the men have decided, okay, maybe they've been eyeing this woman for, maybe if she's a young woman and the father was an old man, or the man who dies was an older person, and he happened to marry a 20-year-old or 22-year-old. And maybe some of the uncles and the older son, have been eyeing this woman. She's a prize now, right? They've won the prize. It's a lottery. And then they go ahead and just take over. And like, unfortunately, if she has no say, if she has no wisdom or maybe strength, or some kind of, if she doesn't have a strong family that can really fight for her, she has no choice but to abide by whatever rules or decisions they've made on her behalf. Unfortunate.
Yeah,
You look shocked. You look shocked.
it's unfortunate because the women that we're talking about here don't have access to internet. They don't have
Yeah,
cell
they don't.
phone.
They
Those
don't.
are the people in the rural areas. And
Mhm.
because we are civilized and we are blessed and we are opportuned to be in this part of the world,
Mhm.
we look at these like a taboo, it's abomination.
Yes.
Most of them don't know any better.
Mm-mm.
Maybe this is
It's
how
the culture, it's the
God.
tradition.
It's
So
a
in
tradition.
those rural areas, you follow the tradition. If your mom and dad tells you this is how we do things, who are you to question them? And if your husband's family says this is how it's done, You follow, you abide by it. You just abide. That's just unfortunately the way it is.
It is like women, if we get raped, we're in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
We are blamed for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Marriages fail, it's us. Now they are
Sorry,
sharing us like
it's
piece of
bothering me.
meat. Now they're sharing us like
Yeah,
piece of
you just.
meat. We become what do you call it? Acquired, right? They can
Mm-hmm.
acquire us, they can give us out at any time. In
Mm.
most marriages, we don't have say. Even if
Mm.
your husband is still alive, you
Yes.
don't question any of his decisions.
Mm-mm.
You can wake up in the morning and say, you know what, Katia, Fina is coming in as the fourth wife.
Yes.
I'm not saying no.
Yes.
Who are you to object to his decisions?
You don't.
You don't.
He's the man of the house, he's the head of the family. And most importantly, he is a man. That makes him Alpha and Omega in the home, in the family. In the family. You know?
You know, when I think about this, and I know that you are so versed in this thing, I say, you know what, Fina is better for me to hear from her. I have spoken about the houses when I talked about like the legal age to be married in Nigeria is 14 years. Am I right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, that is.
This is what the federal government
Has
has
approved.
and approved. When it says the law doesn't say because you're 13 or 14 that a 16-year-old will marry you. Any man, as long as you have ding dong between your legs,
Right. You
can
could be
marry
90 years old for all the care
90 years old.
and marry a 14-year-old. Isn't that sad?
It is so sad. It is definitely so sad. And you know the saddest part of it? Her own parents will persuade her to go and marry that 80-year-old. And if she objects or rejects, this is it for the end of her.
That's it. She's
She can't,
ostracized.
she can't say no.
Mm.
She can't.
It's like they use the tradition against women. They use tradition to scare women. It's the same thing as when they say, a man cheats, it's okay. But if a woman cheats, your children will die. So they
That's
scare you with that tradition.
but
Why
it
is it that
happens.
if a man cheats, the children don't die? If a woman cheats, the children will die. So the woman is scared to go cheat.
Can you imagine? And
They've
it
been using
happens.
tradition to oppress women, and they continue to do so. And it is time for us who are a little bit, maybe exposed to teach the ones that are not, and to go out there to the rural areas when we go home
So Fina,
and actually see and observe what's going on, and hopefully educate one or two of them.
Sometimes this culture and this tradition is extra strong that they don't even want to see somebody like me and you coming to, because
Oh no, we are
coming to
evil people
pollute
when we
coming to pollute their tradition. I'm not gonna stand here and tell you guys, let's go fight it. I can
no
fight
no
it
no no
in
no
Lagos,
no.
in the like having a show or class talking to younger women, but going into the core village, Gogo, they will behead you.
I'm telling you, they will chase you out of there.
They will use
you out of there.
machete and gun and anything
Right.
and chase you out of that village.
Right.
And it's the people in the village, the men, that are enjoying this.
They are, because the women have really no say. Really no say. Because what is a 70-year-old man going to give a 20-year-old woman or 18-year-old? Like, what is there to give? Really? Isn't that imprisonment? Isn't that punishment? Some kind of evil atrocity against this poor child? Like, the fact that she has no say. But, again, let's clarify this. Sometimes it is not the men who do that, who initiate this. It is the family of this poor child. They're so poor They're so poor to just send her off to someone who can give them money and take care of the family, that they don't care who they give. So basically, they're selling their daughters because they're so poor, they're ignorant, they're uneducated, they're just low IQ people, you know, and it's sad to be born to have to be born in a family like that, that will not see you as a loving child that they need to nurture and possibly, hopefully, educate. You know, all they see is, oh, this child is going to give us money, so let's find one of the elders of this village or town, and because they have money, even though they have like 12 wives already.
Sorry, sir, I'm testing. I'm not rude. A guy is trying to call in. He comes from a polygamous family, and he wants to touch a little bit of about this.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead and talk.
So basically, it is not about just the man who initiate this. It is the family of the woman or girl or poor child who initiate this out of poverty and ignorance, you know. And it's really very unfortunate, because to be born in a family like that is, I would say, is a curse. Is a curse, because, like, honestly, you cannot have the full potential of life. You cannot access your full potential and actually be whatever you want to be. So when they say, oh, you can be whatever you want to be abroad and in some places in the world, in Nigeria, it's not so. In lots of the cultures, maybe I shouldn't say the whole country, but in lots of Africa, really, and other countries, Middle Eastern, Asian, Africa, they have somewhat of a similar tradition in some cultures still in 2021.
Guys, please share this video, like this video, subscribe if you're not. Fiona Brooks she also have a YouTube channel. The name you see there, Fiona Brooks. Fiona, did you tell them the name of your show in Calgary, please? If you're calling in from Calgary, please check out her show. Please share your TV channel with them.
Yeah, I have a TV show. It's a national television that airs across Canada, and I have a channel that I just started last year. It's the same name. It's called the Fiona Show, and basically what we do is talk about. It's a magazine show. Basically, it's a variety show. It could be us cooking Nigerian food or some African food, Cameroonian food, Congolese food, Nigerian food, or we're talking to some personality, artists, royalty, and it could be anybody. And we should have you on the show, Katia. We definitely should have you on the show.
I know, I'm always available.
Tell us a few things, teach us a few things on the show as well. So it's a show that just basically tell our stories. It tells the African perspective, because, as you know, I'm a cultural ambassador. I enjoy talking about our culture, and I enjoy telling others who do not know our culture about our culture, because I believe the cure for racism is to appreciate and actually experience other cultures. If white people understand the African culture, and African people understand the white culture, and Indian culture, Chinese, Asian culture, Middle Eastern culture, if we all kind of know some things about the different cultures, I think that would be the cure for racism.
Yes.
That's my take.
That's amazing. So I want to call a guy, a typical Igbo man from father married many wives. He's going to be here right now to give us a little bit of glimpse and insight of how it is in Igbo land.
Yes.
Hi, my brother. Yes. Yeah, you are live right now. I have an anonymous name, but you guys will hear his voice. Welcome to the show. Your voice is on YouTube and Facebook. Can you give us a little bit of insight about polygamy, just not too much, in Igbo land, and how the tradition works, especially Ikuchi wine, when a husband dies, what is expected from the clan or from the uncles or brothers? How does it really work?
Turn the light up outside. Let's see. The one here.
That's a broad question.
Mm-hmm.
But the issue of polygamy in Igbo land is something that has been there for a long time. It's something that I practice up to today. Maybe not as prevalent as it used to be, but today in Igbo land, people still, polygamy means having a man having two wives, right? That's what it means.
Yeah, more than one wife. Yeah.
You know, so it's happening, but not as it used to be. But then, on the other question about taking over your brother's wife, or when your brother passes on, we should call it Ikushi wives, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that is another segment of the whole thing. Mm-hmm. So it happens too. So when a man passes on, one of the brothers start taking care of the other one.
Mm-hmm.
So it happens. So does it happen as you used to do? No, not like before. But
yeah.
So when the brother of the husband takes over the woman, he takes the children, and what happens if the woman says no?
You're ostracized. You're kicked out. And most times your family won't let you do it.
Hold on, he's talking. Yeah.
But it depends on the part of Igbo land you're coming from, right?
Uh-huh.
So most part of Igbo land is making it voluntary, right? It makes it voluntary.
Uh-huh.
That a woman, when the husband dies, they shave her hair, pray for her, then they'll give her a knife to give it to any of the brothers, any of the brother-in-law that she cares for, right?
Oh, okay.
But you know that before the man even dies, she already know who she has
in mind.
Yes, you know what I mean. So usually it's not a problem. But then most women now in Igbo land, what they do is that they hand the knife over to their son, right? Okay. So because they don't want to. They don't want to make it obvious that they are going to be with another man, right?
Uh-huh.
But within the whole community, everybody knows who is taking care of who, right?
Who will be sleeping with her?
Yeah, it's an open secret, right? So that's how, because of religion, because of Christianity, right?
Uh-huh.
So most of the women now say, "Oh no, I want to be by myself, so I'm giving my son the knife."
Uh-huh.
That's tradition, right?
Uh-huh.
But everybody in the community knows that, of course, she's not by herself, right? So.
Okay, now what I want to understand, the wife of the man who is coming to take over this second woman, how about if she doesn't want her husband to bring another woman inside the house?
Okay, maybe right now, in the modern time, maybe it happens, right? But most of the time, in the olden days, these other women, they don't, in Igbo land, they don't really care. They don't really say no. Not that they don't care, but they don't say no. In Igbo land, people don't I don't know how to say, in the olden days,
women don't have option. I think that's what you're trying to say. They have to.
Also, they're not as jealous as they are these days, right?
Uh-huh.
In the olden days, they're not as jealous as they are.
Mm-hmm.
Because she herself already had a co-wife, remember? Because the man they married to her, another person, even before the brother died, right?
Mm-hmm.
So because they already know that they are in polygamy already, so it's actually easier.
It's common, yes.
Yes, for them to move on with life. But if the woman doesn't want it, I think that may be a problem, right? So I don't know, but that's how it is.
Yes, but what I'm trying to catch here is that it used to be in the olden days, but it still happens even right now. Koro eyes. And there are so many men in the village. They're walking around looking for women who lost their husband so that they can have an affair with them.
Is this still happening? Yes, for sure.
Wow.
But it's not. But they don't make it open, right? They don't make it obvious.
That they are walking around from house to
praying on other people's wives.
I heard that guy died. Where is the wife? So
what's happening to the wife?
Who's taking over the wife? Who's smushing the wife? Who's getting entanglement? So they will all go in and out on the woman. But the woman can also say no, that she doesn't want to sleep with those people.
Of course. It's not by force.
But again, if that woman unfortunately happens to be raped by one of them, also after all, is your husband. So if you don't, that guy will be punished.
Yeah, there are some traditions that, whether we look at it, whether we like to believe that or not, we are here. We have cell phone, we have data, we are on social media. Those people don't have social media. They don't know what we're talking about.
No.
All they know is what they see their parents do in the morning. They go to the farm, they do the business, they go to the market and sell their stuff and come back. And if the man dies, they move over to the next man. They don't know anything. We're sitting here talking about, okay, it has to stop. They don't know these things.
No, they don't. They don't. And they see it as tradition. And because the fear has been put in them that if you don't follow the tradition, the children you already have are going to die. That is the biggest lie and the biggest hoax that they use against these women.
It's happening though. There's another reason. Okay, there's this belief, especially I always talk about Igbo land because that's where I came from. So there's this belief that if a woman goes out there and something happens and she becomes pregnant, that she's going to have a baby that's not part of the lineage. So they want to make sure that she's going to have a baby, that baby will come from the family instead of going out there and getting pregnant from someone else. That's part of the reasons why they're not doing it before. So you have to, again, listen, this is their culture and tradition, right? So we have our own culture and tradition here that makes them say, oh my God, oh Lord, that's an abomination. I want to do it, right? Yeah, we have gay people here walking on the street. We have, so over there, you can do it, right? So.
Yeah. Before you two join and before a lot of people join, I tapped into something, what I knew growing up. Maybe you guys can tap into that if you know. Where a woman marries a woman. Like, I give an example. Doesn't have anything to do with gay or lesbian. Just that a woman she was never married. She was a businesswoman. She made all the money. She wanted to make sure that her father's name still exists. So she goes, like she was in her 60s. I'm telling you guys the real story. In her 60s, she went and married a girl that is 17 years old, and she brings different men to sleep with that 17-year-old, so that 17-year-old makes multiple children, and that children answers the last name of the woman that married her. It's a culture, it's a tradition, and it still happens. So you know about that, right?
Yes, of course.
So many people don't know.
There's no male child in a family. Usually they do that.
And even the wife can go marry another woman for the husband if she cannot produce a child.
Yes,
just to keep the lineage, to keep the lineage of the family.
But Fina, when for example, if I don't have a male child, I marry another woman for my husband, I am sure that my husband is sleeping with her alone, right?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Yeah. But when I go now, I don't have a husband and marry another younger girl, it is my responsibility to choose the man that will sleep with that girl. whether she likes it or not. I can bring Sam today to sleep with her, and tomorrow I'll bring Okeke, and next week, because Okeke is not available, I will say, hey, Brown, come. My wife is at home. We are looking to make baby. Can you come and sleep with her? So different men come to take turns.
That's pimping the girl now. Let's just say who it is. That's pimping her.
Yes.
Like the one I know is when the wife
marries,
or a sister or a family member who happens to, because there's no other male apart from either the son or the father, and there's only girls, only daughters, and of course, women are not considered real children.
Yes, they're not.
Just assets. So you have to have a boy to carry the father's name, the family name forward. So the wife or the sister or the daughter can go marry a young girl for the old father or whoever is the last male in the family. And that person will try and sleep with the girl or the young woman and hopefully impregnate her to have a child. And if unfortunately that girl gives birth to another girl, they keep trying until they get a boy. And if that doesn't work, after a few years, they go marry another one. Like the cycle just continues until they have a son. You see, this is oh goodness. Talking about it now just really annoys me.
You guys should know that the technology and the medications we have now is not there at that time. So right now, a woman can go to fertility clinic and do something and get pregnant.
A civilized woman, but not the women in the village.
Yeah,
but even if you do that, even if you do the in vitro and all that stuff, you're not guaranteed to have a boy. The eggs will fertilize, yes. What if it's 2 girls, 3 girls? Again, you're going to abort that, throw away that money and try again? Like, they don't keep trying different women.
The mistake people are making, and they still make it today, they forget about the chromosomes. It's not the woman alone that makes the sex of the baby. It's both chromosomes that decide the sex of the baby. But unfortunately, where we come from, when a woman have girl and girl and girl, they say, oh, you can't give us a boy. You can't give us a boy. We are going to marry another wife. All these things is because they don't know.
Ignorance. But again, the woman is receptive. The woman's egg is receptive to any chromosome, any sperm. Now, because it's the sperm that would decide if it's going to be a boy or a girl. The woman this woman's egg does not discriminate. Whatever sperm fertilizes the egg is what they will carry. So the woman is ever ready for male or female. So if the man's eggs, the male ones are not strong enough, and the female sperm happens to fertilize again, or happens to be the most ones that gets fertilized, it's not the woman's fault. It's never the woman. It has never been the woman's fault. But they will pin that on the woman. But of course, the woman is always a scapegoat, right?
Always.
So everything, blame it on the woman. It's your fault. You have 5 girls, no boy.
If a guy beat us up, it's our fault.
It's our fault.
If 10 men come on top of us
and rape you, it's your fault. Why were you dressed like that? Why are you trying to arouse women, men? Why are you trying to tempt them? It's your fault. You're evil.
Your mother have only girls. It is her fault.
Yes.
She keep producing girls.
It's quite unfortunate. It's quite unfortunate. And it's time we educate our men and we educate our women and actually have a very beautiful society and a culture that works for everybody, not just for men. Not just for men. Women needs to have a say because we're people too. And the way God did not say, okay, woman is useless, a man is the only one. I mean, he gave roles to women, roles to men. Yes, we agree. We don't even have a problem with men being the head of the family. We have no problem. In fact, you be the head. We're the next.
We are the
really,
toe. You are the toe. Become the head.
We don't even care. It's not a matter of war against the sexes. No. We are okay. We are okay. We just want to be acknowledged for who we are.
That we are. Me when where women are fighting in the family of who is up, who is 50-50. Yesterday I talked about 50-50. What are you doing with 50-50? Where is that? Who cares?
Who cares?
It will not get you anywhere.
Right.
Somebody be the captain in the ship, whether we like to believe it or not. Somebody, have you ever seen one car with two?
And it should take turns. Sometimes a man, because we're all gifted. Women are gifted, men are gifted. We, when a man realizes my wife is better at this, let her lead that. And then when the woman realizes, it's my husband, I need to, be submissive, within reason, obviously.
Yeah, feminine woman.
Yes, it treat them accordingly. And if a woman have the strength to do certain things, give her encourage her to be a leader in that. To be a leader in that. Because women, we make your lives better. I always say in marriages, it's not 100%. It's 200%. Because each person have to bring their 100% game. It's not 50-50. So this 50-50 thing is they just picked a number. It doesn't work in marriages. Because sometimes
my show yesterday, and God bless you for saying this. For people that were here yesterday, you can also hear that again.
It's 200% you need in a marriage. 200%. The man brings his 100%, the woman brings her 100%. Every now and then, someone is going to slack. The other person have to pick the slack up, and because it's a unity, it's a union. It's not a contract. It's a union. It's a union, and if two people are in a union and one person is falling, the other person can pull them up and bring them up again and encourage them. Because we're all humans, we do make mistakes, and we need help every now and then. We need to be the cheerleaders of our spouses, and when they fail, we help them. And when we fail, we expect them to encourage us to get up as well. We're humans.
Oh, my brother, thank you so much for being here. Very educative.
Before I leave, I will encourage you guys to continue as much as you can to but not to say that men mistreat women all the time, though, right? So, we treat women with respect too, right?
Yes.
So it doesn't mean that because it happens, it's a one-off, right? Most men treat their wives with respect.
Especially Igbo men. Yesterday I talked about how Igbo men wants to make sure that their women is light up and lit up, and Igbo men don't care about wearing one trouser, but let their wife shine.
Yes. But again, you see the mentality there. It's they see their wives indirectly as a trophy. Because when their wife look good, it makes their status look good in society.
Yes.
It's just a status thing, and it's basically an egotistic status thing, right? Because you want people to see your wife. You see my wife, see how beautiful she is. You see how young she is. Oh my gosh.
Before you see them, they'll tap you. Oh, did you see my wife?
Did you see my wife? Yes.
My husband would say, my wife just came back.
Come say hello.
Nebia, come. We've been wanting to meet you. No, there is nothing wrong with that. Yesterday in the show, there was a guy here who was particularly talking about Newi people. He was going how Newi people love money, how they like to flaunt their wife. I say, hey, I'm from Newi.
Yes,
But there's nothing wrong with it because I enjoy.
Nothing is wrong with it. I actually love it.
You love it. Every woman, regardless of how much money or wealth or educated or whatever you are in life, you love to be pampered, and at the time you want to pose as
appreciated and
sometimes
be shown off. Be shown up. Yeah.
We love to show off.
Let me tell you something. A story. Your husband and my husband are kind of similar because one day we went to a wedding, and because the mother of the bride happens to be a very good friend of mine, so I went inside the house. They were doing the traditional wedding, and they had set up the canopy and the chairs outside in a big acreage yard, and I was inside, and my husband was sitting, and obviously put my jackets over the next chair so I can sit when I come, so I have a place to sit next to him. A lady now came, and she was kind of wanted to sit there. Oh, no, that's my wife's seat, you know. He goes, oh, let me just sit here for a few minutes until my husband find me a chair. So she sat there, and immediately do you know my wife? I said, no. He said, it's like a crime if you don't know me.
I would say that.
This my husband was like, you don't know Fiona Brooks? He said, no, how can you not know Fiona Brooks? Like, the poor woman said, I don't know how long have you been in Calgary? He said, we just came 5. Oh, no wonder you don't know but you need to know my wife. My goodness.
My husband is the exact. My husband will say, let me tell you.
You have to know my wife.
My wife is a celebrity. I'm not, though. I'm a local man. Meet her. She's a celebrity. Come. Celebrity, come.
I know.
Trina, we need to do more of this show.
I swear.
Next time I bring you here, I want you to tell us. I will tell you guys ahead of time. I want to tell us you married out of race, and your husband lets you have
gives me wings to fly.
Friends, you can go to Dubai with your male friends.
Yes, anybody, my friends, anybody, yeah.
Anybody, you can go anywhere. Your husband doesn't care because he believes and trusts. You will call him and say, hey, I'm with Fiona right now. Guess what is going on? He will gladly not. I know, maybe because he's out of race.
Apart from that, you have not, when you give a reason for someone to doubt your loyalty,
yes,
then they can start being worried. But there has not been a reason or for him to doubt my loyalty towards him.
Yes,
I can be sitting here with all my male friends or my female friends, and we can just be chatting and stuff. We'll say, okay, good night, guys, I'm going to bed.
Okay, see ya. You host in your house.
Yes, they actually will come visiting, like maybe
host Fino and all these people from Nigeria, the
yes,
and
artists and stuff.
In your house.
Right. They stay in my house, when they come visit, but fine. I take them around, and my husband, he doesn't even want to come because my husband he's the quiet type. He's not like me. So he doesn't like to be on camera. He doesn't like to be, he wants to be in the background, and he's happy for me. He's truly 100% happy for me to be in the limelight, and he's comfortable with that. He's comfortable in his own skin.
Yes.
And he's a confident man. For him to have that kind of confidence, oh yeah, my wife is cool. No problem.
My husband,
you can hang out with her, but you can't have her. That's what it is.
We have the same thing.
Yeah.
Even when I land in Nigeria, people are like waiting for me, like My husband has told everybody, come and meet my celebrity wife. My celebrity wife is coming. Start bringing your books. Let she start signing autographs.
Yes.
I'm a local man. No, don't look at me.
Don't look at me. I'm not the celebrity. She is.
Celebrity. Follow her. Are you guys following her? She needs to make 1,000 subscribers. Please subscribe to her channel.
Subscribe to my channel, The Fiona Show. I just started it a few months ago. And less than a year ago, like 9 months ago, in the beginning of the quarantine last year, that's when I started this channel. So I'm not very good at promoting. So
you are good at
promoting the show. I'm good at producing, but not promoting. I'm just so not good at it.
Guys,
but now,
I'm going to take up you guys' comments very fast because I know Fiona has to go. She has other things to do. And then let me just appreciate you guys. Ify Nancy, thank you. Coco Mama, hi, happy Sunday. Yes, we are not from Nigeria. We are Canadians.
We are Canadians.
That's Dr. Chidi saying that. Dr. Chidi, say you
Dr. Chidi. Dr. Chidi, my man. My bro.
Yes. Hello, Amos. Hi, everyone. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Coco Mama, thank you for coming again. I view my mommy video. Yes, you know, Amos has been my friend on Facebook. I just started noticing him. I didn't know that. Thank you, Amos, for coming. Thank you. I appreciate you. Charity, thank you. Ugo. Egglet, thank you. One name, good evening. I would like to invite you on my Facebook page to talk about marriage. Ugo, no wahala. Me, Fina, anybody, you're welcome. Send me a message. Contact me, no wahala. Jane's Kitchen. Hello, darling. Thank you. Lovely Chiroke says sorry she's late. No, you're not late. Hello, KV. Jane Eze, thank you so much. Lovely Chiroke. Felicia Okoro, I made it. Yes, you made it, girl. I haven't seen you on my live video in a long time. Thank you for tuning in. Bridget Abdullahi, thank you. Thank you for joining. Catherine Samuel, oh my God, Port Harcourt is Ikwere, and Ikwere is Igbo, so you should know a little bit. Okay, but Fina is here. She explained a whole lot about, covered so many things, and my brother on the phone covered things, and I talked. Yes, Catherine, thank you. Oh, Amos says hello, Fiona Brooks. Amos, you know Fina? Yeah, please follow her TV channel in Calgary. Oh, Vienna, Austria. Ugo Egglet. Oh, Coco Mama, see somebody from Austria. Ugo is from Austria. Follow Coco Mama. She's a big Nigerian Austrian-based YouTuber. I'm sure you know her. Fina, someone saying hello. Jane's Kitchen says hello, Fina Brooks.
Hey.
Bridget Abdullahi say hello, Fina Brooks.
Hi.
Kelly, thank you. Some lovely Cherokee. Hello, grandmother. Welcome, because lovely Cherokee is also a grandmother. Fellow grandmother.
Yeah, I actually call myself Glamma. Okay.
Glamma.
I can't wait to be going around with my glam baby, wearing similar clothes. Oh yeah.
I'm looking so forward to that. I can't wait. Okay, Chika is saying something to lovely Cherokee. Nick assured, get your information right. She doesn't sleep with different men. Because dowry was paid, traditionally right informed. Okay, I can't be bothered. Oh my God, inherited. Yes, women are inherited. Could be inherited in some part of Nigerian culture. What if a woman is in question refused to marry the father-in-law? What will happen there? If Nancy.
It depends on the family and how much of a predicament she's in, or how much of how strong she is, really, because obviously you're going to be ostracized, and if your family will not take you back, they might say, you know, you stay in that marriage, whoever is going to marry you, you stay there. Or if they say, you know what, we want our daughter back, and they insist on getting their dowry back, they pay back the dowry and she's free.
Okay. And also, like you said before, most of these girls or women come from a very poor family.
Poor family, yes.
So her parents, her family will rather force her to marry the father-in-law or to stay there, because they want her. If she comes back into the house, she becomes a burden.
Yes,
so
to them.
Stay there. Let she stay there. And unfortunately, most of these young girls in the rural areas doesn't have much say. I don't know much about traditions, but what I'm hearing right now, if actually is happening, hearing it alone can make someone sick. Of course, Amos is saying it can really make you go mental. Yeah, I know, Chica, is disgusting to you. You don't want to hear this kind of stories, but unfortunately, it happens.
It does happen. It's really unfortunate. It's very, very unfortunate.
Phone also, it says, he told me a story before even I called him. Like I said, before I sit down to talk to people, I try to get my informations right. I call people, I talk to people, even though I might not be able to bring people on the show, but I want to get some insight of what's going on, so that I don't come here and make fool of myself.
Mm-hmm.
I keep telling people that it don't have to follow what I say, but I say from what I know and how I know.
Right.
All
Right.
the show is all about is when you gather information, you can do a little more research. This is what the show. Every show you ever watch in the world is after you watch this show, it gives you a little bit of glimpse
Yes.
what is going on, and then you can go and elaborate that. As Christians, do something. YouTubers or TV hosts or people that come to talk to public, they don't just sit down and pull up a chair and start talking what they don't know.
Right. Right. Because again, let me give you an example. Some of these things are actually real life experiences, not just abstract stories. Because even myself, growing up, I am from a polygamous family. My father would come home. Oh my goodness. Growing up, by the time I was 12, my father would literally come home. He's been courting a woman outside. He comes home one day with the woman with suitcase in hand and say, "Meet your new mom."
Oh my God.
Like, I am not kidding. It happened 3-4 times.
Are you serious?
By the time I was 12 or 13.
Your father have?
Altogether, my father had 5 wives.
Oh, are you
in
guys
all,
hearing that?
In all. This is not just abstract of some kind of fantasy or some kind of a made up story. No, it's not. This happened to me as well, and it happened to some people. It's a cultural, it's a traditional thing, right?
Your new mom.
Like, it's, if you watch, my documentary is coming out soon, where I told the story of this happening to me growing up. How my father would come home and I wouldn't know because I'm a kid, right? I wouldn't know he was dating this woman, right? And then by the time he's ready, my father was what some people say is a woman's man kind of thing, right? And he likes to do, to him, he thinks he's doing the right thing by marrying them, not just dating them, having concubines, right? There's no time that I remember where my father didn't have 2-3 wives at a time. And my father died at 49.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm very serious. This is a true story. True story, I'm telling you. So it's not just, hearsay. My father had like multiple wives every time. And he marries them. He pays the dowries for them. And sometimes they're young. They're just maybe, the youngest that he married will be maybe 19. And he was in his maybe late 30s and early 40s until he was 49 when he passed, died of a heart attack. You wonder why.
Kill themselves.
You wonder why. You wonder why my father died so early and he died of a heart attack. Right. He went to bed. His young wife, made him dinner, and a late dinner because he came home quite late. I was in boarding school, and she made him food. He finished eating. I know the food. I'm not gonna say it, but he made him this palm oil soup called owo in my culture, in my culture, and owo and eba, right? The man ate it, was watching the news, 11 o'clock news, ate it, drank water, sat up for a bit, finished the news, let's say at midnight, then went to bed. Didn't wake up. Did not wake up. So it's a young wife. And not even 6 months later, that woman married another man. Not my family member. So she didn't have kids for him. So
okay, so she's free.
They were only married for less than 2 years at that time.
So she's free to go. Otherwise,
she was free to go only because my father didn't have a brother. Like, he was the only male left in his family. They were a family of 6. Although he had a half brother who he did not talk to. So they were not in good terms. Otherwise, that half brother would have inherited my stepmom. And at that time, my father had 3 wives at that time.
Which number was your mom?
My mom was number 1, but my mom passed away when I was only 4. So these
Oh,
are stepmothers. So I
okay.
had a series of stepmothers in all.
Okay.
Growing up having this stepmother. So that's why I consider myself a Cinderella
Yo,
today. I am
so many
Cinderella.
moms.
I actually went through the Cinderella thing really in real life. You know those wicked stepmothers and their
No.
own children that they brought into the so I had my own Cinderella story, and it's quite unique to me. And
Oh,
yeah. Mhm.
I'm yet to see a Nigerian. I only say Nigeria because I know I'm from Nigeria.
Mhm.
A Nigerian woman who doesn't have story about her father to tell.
Mm.
I have my own story. I share it here. How my father went and brought another woman into the house. My
Yeah.
mother have 10 of us. We are 9 girls, and
Oh my gosh.
girls are not considered nothing.
Yeah. No. No.
Girls are like food
Yeah.
fat. My
We're
mother,
like half a man, half a man.
yeah,
So
9 girls and 1 boy. My father had to go and bring another woman into the house
to
because
get it back up,
your mother is only making daughters,
women.
women, and my father's family will also encourage, this
Hmm.
wife is always making
Yeah.
girls go and
Hmm.
try something
Yeah.
else. And so I don't know about any Nigerian family that doesn't have a story to tell about their father and women.
Oh.
So sometimes when the world tag Nigerian men are not the only men that cheat out there. But when the
No.
world tag Nigerian men as cheaters, sometimes you look at the core where that men are coming from. This is what they know. This is what
Hmm.
they see.
It is what they know. Yes.
They saw their father growing up entangling with many women. So to
Mm.
them, growing up,
That's normal.
in their head, it
Yeah.
is normal.
It's normal.
Whether they live in Obodo Yibo or they live in Nigeria, Africa, whatever, they remember that thing. Father always bringing so many women, and mother didn't say anything. So
Right. She doesn't have to say she cannot, or she'll be kicked out.
yes.
Hmm.
So unfortunately, that's how it goes. Blessing one, well, it's all about obeying their flesh and the world, not obeying God's word. They
Mm.
care less about what the God is saying. Most of these men, no, they don't.
But you know the people today in Canada and abroad, the Nigerian diasporan men who have wives abroad, and they also have wives in Nigeria.
Mm-hmm,
So they have multiple wives.
mm-hmm.
The other wives are informal wives, and the wife they have in Canada is the formal wife. And of course, the Canadian government doesn't know that. So
Fina, there's something we forget and something
mm,
I didn't know much. How
mm,
is the culture in Yoruba? Because we talked about Hausas, we talked about the Southerners, the Northerners, the
mm.
Eastern. We didn't touch the Yoruba culture of marriage. How is that?
Well, most of the cultures in Nigeria specifically are very similar. They have. I'm not saying I'm an expert in the Yoruba marital culture,
Mhm, mhm,
but what I know, the one that I've seen and heard of, similar to how the wife, it happens in the village as well,
mhm,
where the wives can also be betrothed to a brother, uncle,
mhm,
a son, right? And it's up to it. It can be a symbolic thing too. It can just be a symbolic thing, especially if the son of the man by another woman is younger. So it's just a symbolic thing, and again, it's based on the wife's family and the family, the man's family, where the man is dead, and then the wife is given a choice whether to leave or to marry somebody else from their clan, so that they can continue with the lineage of that family.
I was also meant to understand, correct me if I'm wrong, I am not 100% right, but this is what somebody told me, that in Yoruba, that a married woman can cheat openly and the husband can cheat openly. Like being married and having a guy outside, and the husband is aware of that, it's not like a very big deal. This is like I said,
that's not true. That is not true. That is just not.
So
It could be the individuals that choose to have an open marriage. It could be the individuals, or maybe they're getting something out of it, or maybe they just don't care. Maybe the man doesn't care about the woman and the woman doesn't care. So maybe they can be open, but that's not a cultural or traditional thing to do in Yoruba land.
Okay, but is it a traditional cultural thing in Yoruba land where a woman is now married and have multiple children by multiple rich men?
That happens in every culture. And that's
the culture in Igbo. Like in Yoruba, I heard that somebody will come and say, "Oh, Fina, how many rich men have you children with?" And like
that's a promiscuous thing to do. It's not a cultural thing. I think it's just a choice. It's the woman's choice, and it can happen in any culture where the woman would choose to look for rich men to just have children by, so she can be and they're proud of it. There are women who will do that. Just go about, because we know something about women. If a woman wants a man, the woman will get that man. If a woman is confident enough and knows how to get her man, she will get the man. It may not last, but she will get the man. And so, of course, there are women out there who go out preying on rich men or vulnerable men so they can have children by them intentionally, unbeknown to the man, and trap the man into some kind of an entanglement.
I love
that's the theme word for today, entanglement.
Vivian will say, Katia, you always talk about entanglement. I say, that's my word there.
Right. Really? You like that? Okay, good.
Oh, I love entanglement. It really gives me some vibes when I hear and talk about the word entanglement. I love it. Next episode, Katia, what will continue to happen? That will continue to happen until women understand that their life exists and doesn't depend on being married, but adding value to their lives. Very correct. Very
right. In Africa, we consider marriage to be a necessity. It's a be all, do all. You have to be married.
Yes.
If by 30 you're not married, even especially a woman, even a man too,
27.
your family, they will harass the hell out of you. They will say, "What are you doing? You're gonna be an old hag. You have to find a husband." And if it's a man, they'll be like, "You better get a woman, because you have to, start having children." But they don't know that marriage is not a necessity of life.
No,
you can live without being married. And if you're well enough, you'll be fine and comfortable in your old age. Because marriage is meant to be for procreation, yes. And it's also meant for what's the word I'm looking for now? Companionship. Because you want to have someone to do life with, yes. You also want, if you want to have kids. Not everybody. God did not create every one of us, 100% of us, to be able to have children. I don't think it's the intention of God. Some people are meant to have kids. Some people are not meant to have kids. And maybe they don't want to have kids. And it's a choice. Because you can't bring children into this world and not have a means to take care of them. It's a sin to do that. It is a sin.
Marriage is not Bella Naija. People just want to wear white gown and move down the aisle. That's marriage. That's just things. Fictions. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Those men can't even take care of their wives and kids, and they want another woman just to satisfy their selfish ends.
Right.
They care. They don't care. They are being wicked. Nothing more than that. They're maltreatment. They maltreat those women. Of course. Blessing Wanko. Thank you so much. Bridget Abudulai. Wow. Yeah, you are hearing this. I'm glad that a lot of people are hearing some of these things for the first time. It's very educational. When you sit in your own bubbles, you got to learn what is going on in the other part of the world. Like Fina said, that her show cultural. Indians, Jamaicans, whatever, you go there, you see what is going on. Sometimes when we sit in our own bubble, all we know is us. us.
You don't know what's going on around the world around you.
Going on around us. There are so
Right.
many things going on around us. Catherine, Samuel, yeah, you guys have lots and lots and lots of things to talk about. We appreciate you guys. Coco Mama, thank you. Lovely Cherokee, yes, definitely they need to educate Fiona Brooks. They need to be educated. Fiona Brooks, you and Katia, Doctor of Life, you two are the right ones to try to help and educate these people. Thank you, lovely Cherokee. Ify Nancy, God have mercy. 5 wives. Hey,
Yeah.
now,
Oh,
5
yeah.
wives.
Mhm.
5, 6 wives. They go because many women, like even though they might not come from poor family, but they want to have that title.
Married. Yes.
So,
Mrs. They want to be Mrs.
yeah, hey.
Mrs. So and so.
They don't care if they are the 100th wife or 20th wife, but the wife, the first wife, doesn't care. That's all she know. She doesn't have a say. Second wife, all they care about, all of them. The only person I have respect in the polygamous family is the first wife. That's the only person. Every other person that comes as a concubine or side chick or just to have the title of being married, I don't have no regard or respect for them. Only the first wife. I don't care if the man drag you to come inside the house. You can also say no. But again, if you come from that tradition, like for example,
you don't see it as anything.
You don't see it as anything. The Muslims don't see it as anything. That's whether you live in Obodo Ibo or whatever. If your husband decides to marry a second wife, it is their culture of Muslim.
Right.
You can fight and fight and fight. At the end of the day, only if the man decides that he doesn't want, then he doesn't want. Whether you are the most educated with PhD, with whatever you have, rich like Oprah Winfrey or whatever, if you're Muslim and your husband decide one day, get up and say, I want to add another wife, you don't have any say to that.
No, you don't. No, you don't. But let me stress something here now. These things we're saying is not stuff that happened years ago, decades ago only. It's happening today. Lots of women, and it looks like we're beating up on men today, but we're not. Because women shares the blame, especially the modern woman who sees marriage as a do or die kind of thing, and feel bad when they are not married yet, and all their friends are getting married, and siblings and sisters are getting married, and so they feel, I also want to get into this marriage thing. You can be married to yourself and love yourself enough to be happy. Okay? Because that's the best marriage you can ever have.
I saw on social media a lady that married herself. What?
I'm telling you, because you can never divorce yourself. But the thing is, you have to love yourself enough to be confident enough, to have self-worth enough to, if you're not married yet, to still be happy with yourself. And not say, oh, poor me, I'm not married. And then you fall prey to just any man that comes your way. Or maybe you go and look for a man and say, please marry me and all. I mean, where do you expect that to get you? It happens today because some women really do not care if they're third, fourth, or fifth wife. As long as the man comes every now and then to service them, they are okay. As long as they say, I'm married, they wear their wedding ring and tell people I'm also married to somebody they barely see. That's like, it's such a sham. But some women feel comfortable doing that. And they're happy to say that. Oh, I'm married. When was the last time you saw your husband? 9 months ago. Or 2 years ago, because you're here in Canada or in Europe or the US and you're working your behind off. And you go to Nigeria every now and then to visit this man, this so-called husband of yours, that happens to also be married to somebody else. And you're okay with it. Like, you're not just dating the guy on the side. You are okay with saying, I'm married to this guy. Women do it to themselves. And then when we remain unhappy, we blame others for the choices we have made. Your choices can make you happy and make you unhappy regardless, because if you make the wrong choices in life, you're going to live to
Yeah, it's
to
gonna
suffer it.
karma will come to you. Fina, somebody have a quick question just specifically for you.
Oh,
Say,
okay.
Fina, what do
Mhm.
you think when people support polygamy? A man told me a real African woman will allow her husband to have more than one wife.
Well, see, there we go. If the woman at home feel vulnerable that if she says no, so she'll go with the whatever the man wants. Because most, when you look at the fundamental part of this, every woman wants to please her husband.
Mhm,
Whether the man deserves it or not.
mhm.
Most women want to please their husband, wants to see them happy. And if the man is able to convince the woman that, oh, this will make me happy if I marry somebody else, and then I'll be nicer to you. And so if you let me marry another woman, you'll still be number one. But at least we'll have somebody that will help you out in the house, be like your maid, really. And then the woman falls for that trick.
Prey. She falls a
She
prey.
falls prey to that for that trick, and she goes yes. And then the woman comes and basically wants to kick you out. The younger person or the second wife come in and wants to kick you out. And if that man is not smart enough, they actually do succeed in kicking you out. So falling for that trick is an old age trick by men where they convince the woman, if I have a second wife, I'll be nicer to you. You don't have to do much of the house chores. You will have somebody that will help you do. You can tell them what to do and they'll do it. You are the number one. You will always be number one. And the woman fall for it. And they do fall for it. And then after the second wife, they fall for the third wife. And they go after the second one. What's the use? There's no more fighting it. You just have to go along with it.
And in Igbo tradition, is except from us that are westernized, that have been there, done that. For people who are not Africans, I'm talking specifically from Igbo culture. The real Igbo culture, when you wake up in the morning, you go to your husband and you kneel down and you call him our Father, our
yes,
Lord.
Lord.
Lord, you will
Yes,
kneel down on your two knees, even if you bring him water, you will
yes.
bring him water and you bow down and you say, Nai.
Mm-hmm.
Tradition that still happens in the village. So when I say because we live in the Western world, we are exposed, we are educated, we do this, we think that those things doesn't exist. It still exists. She will come, she will bring food, she will kneel on her two knees and serve her husband.
Mm-hmm. It still happens. I know of families. I'm not even kidding. A couple of years ago, there's this friend of mine here in Calgary, whose older brother, is back in the village and has a wife. And if the wife will call her and say, please talk to your brother, we're having this problem, and then sometime when she's doing video with them, this wife will bring food in a tray for the man. She will go on her knees, hold a plate of water for him to wash his hands while she's still on her knees. And until he finished washing his hands, and she opens the plate, each plate of the eba and the soup. And once he starts eating, then she gets up. And when he's finished eating, she comes again, carries the plate of water and soap, and lets him wash his hands. And after that, she takes the tray to the kitchen. I mean, what do you call that? Is that a wife? No, that's a maid. In fact, that's modern day slavery.
Maid.
That is, and then at night you want to sleep with this person.
I'm telling you,
I don't get it.
But
I really don't understand.
The funny thing is that the woman you're trying to protect here doesn't see anything wrong.
No, it's what she's known. It's what she's seen her mother and father do, that she's carrying on. To her, she's just carrying on the tradition. This is how it's done. She doesn't know any better. She hasn't seen anything different. This is how everybody does it. So, and that's why, let me give you an adage. There's this girl in today's age that when she cooks, there's a way she keeps the pot, and she puts She puts a lot of water, and she puts a rock inside while she's cooking.
Inside the pot?
Yes, it's a, well, old wives' tale. So she puts the rock in and she's cooking. So every time they keep asking her, why do you? Oh, it's how my mother does it. It's how my mother did it. And then they ask the mother, why do you? Oh, it's how my mother did it. So thankfully, the grandmother was still alive. And they asked the grandmother, Mom, Grandma, why did you pass this tradition? Why? Oh, it's because, so the grandmother said to her, it's because I had a small pot and I want to make it look like the pot is full. I mean, a small, is a big pot, but not enough meal, not enough food. So I want to make it look like the food is a lot. So I put something inside so it looks full. That's the only reason. It's not because the rock make the food taste good, but because that's how she concealed the fact that she doesn't have money and she doesn't have enough food, but it makes the pot look good. So she's carried down this tradition without knowing the reason why. And that's how we have carried on this marriage tradition. And say, oh, this is how it's done. This is how my mother did it. This is how my grandmother did it. This is how we've always done it in our family. We have to do this. We have to be so submissive to become like slaves to our husbands. And of course, the man who doesn't want to be worshipped, who doesn't want to be treated like that, like a king. I mean, I don't really blame the men as much, except when they force the women to do that. But tradition is being misused, abused, and used as a tool for slavery today.
Yes.
Which is very, very unfortunate.
It is.
Very, very unfortunate.
It's so unfortunate. But do I see this ending in our lifetime? Hell no.
Oh no. Not until men are properly educated.
Yes.
Properly educated.
200 years from now. It's not coming soon. It's not. Even now, it's still practicing. People still want you. Like, somebody will come to my house in Nigeria. I serve you food. You are sitting at the table looking at me to give you water to water.
Yes.
Can you guys do that? You come to my house.
Yes.
I cook. I serve you. I offer you chair to sit in the dining. You sit at the dining.
And you're waiting to get a bowl of water.
Yeah. Like, my dad, can you get me water to wash my hands? Are you for real?
Yes, it happens.
You cannot go to the sink and wash your hand. I will pack my food back in the
Yeah, you can go. You can go to your house now. Bye-bye.
You can go. I can't even give my husband water to wash his hands.
No.
My husband has to march to the sink to wash his hands.
Right. If I did that to my husband, what are you trying to do? If he would excuse me, I can go to the sink myself. Many times, that traditional thing, that African thing in us. I want to do stuff for my husband. So I make him lunch, for example. This happened just a couple of days ago. I'm so sorry. I think I'm wearing my earphone.
You don't
wrong.
Okay.
I'm wearing it wrong, so it's not staying. I don't want to switch it again because it looks awkward. But I'm trying to manage it the way it is. I'm so sorry, guys. It just feels like I'm always doing this, which is quite annoying. But I'm so sorry. Bear with me for today. But the point is, it happens to me, and I catch myself do it, and I say, you know what? I'm just being a good wife, which is okay. My husband appreciates it, but he doesn't expect it from me because I'll make my husband a sandwich, put it in a tray, slice some vegetables, carrots or whatever, and then put a glass of water. And then I'll ask him, do you want a cup of tea as well? He'll say yes. And I'll go, he said, no, I can get it myself. I'm like, no, it's okay. Let me get it for you. You feel so awkward. I said, no, please, I'll get my tea myself. Only because he feels like, gee, why am I doing all this? And he's sitting there in the living room watching TV. And I don't have a problem doing it, which, I mean, it shouldn't be a problem. But when it's expected, and if you don't do it, it becomes like you've committed a sin. That's where the problem is.
Yes.
Because serving somebody it makes you happy. Yeah. Serving. Because as a spouse, your job is to serve each other. It shouldn't be one-sided. Every now and then I will be in bed, just woke up, my husband will bring me a cup of tea, and he'll say, do you want breakfast? I have breakfast in bed anytime I want. If I want to do it every day, he would do it. He would gladly do it because my husband loves serving me and I love serving him. And that is how it should be. It shouldn't be a chore. It shouldn't be a chore that if you don't do it, oh, now you've committed a big sin and you have to appease for it, or else the marriage is over. Or they will call your family and have a family meeting on your neck or on your head. Oh, your daughter is insubordinate. I don't know how I paid this dowry for this girl. Like that's how it's they make it to be, which is wrong.
Very wrong. And Igbo culture, you see, like you just say, I can't offer my husband water. Even if I offer him water to wash his hands, the first thing he will tell you is that, first of all, we need to understand the concept of giving somebody water. Dirt from your hand is still inside the same water.
And you're going to eat with it.
And you're going to eat with that. It is very, very
unsanitary.
Yeah, as people need to understand the things behind washing hands. It is not clean. And then the in-laws, you have to talk about the in-laws.
Oh, Lord.
Before in-laws, they will call you for a meeting to say that your in-laws, your husband's brother come to the house and you
don't serve them.
You didn't give them water to wash hands. You didn't give them water to drink. They know where the kitchen is. I'm sorry.
And to be fair, this tradition of having a bowl of water for someone to wash their hands that was centuries ago when it started. And the reason why it was like that is because we didn't have tap water. We didn't have water from a tap. So the only way you can wash your hands is to have a bowl of water. And back then too, it's like everybody washed their hands in that one bowl of water because we were not as sanitary as we are today. Everybody washes their hands in there. Everybody dip their hand in the same food, and your saliva is mixing with somebody else's, and you're like it's so gross.
Pick their nose, put their hands in their business, and went to the toilet. They wash in the same bowl, and when you try to tell them go to the sink, at least let the dirt run
come out of your hands.
They think you are insultive, that you're not respecting.
That you're being insubordinate.
Yes.
Rude. Oh, Lord. And they will have meeting on you. They will have a family meeting because of you.
You didn't offer.
So you can come, and when you are at that family meeting, you'll be on your knees as they are scolding you and telling you, talking down at you.
You are not married to a Nigerian, but you know how.
I know because and that is the reason why I didn't marry Nigerian. My sister. Hey, when I saw my father, to be fair, my father was a very learned man. But tradition, he put it in his head. He went to school in England, studied medicine. And because he's like that, he was a woman's man. And because all the women will want him, because they want educated man, to have that, I'm married to a doctor. That kind of a thing. So he fell prey to all of that temptation. And of course, I think he's a weak man that falls for things like that, right? But to be fair, women are attracted to men who are, who have some kind of a status in society. Women, it's a thing. It's actually a thing. It's a thing. It's a natural thing that happens. Women want the best for themselves, and because they want to preserve their own offsprings to have a better life. A woman will instinctively look for a man who they think, a real woman, not all, some of them, they cannot even discern. They don't even care. They will do it with anybody and have kids by anybody. But a real woman with wisdom will instinctively look for a man who can potentially be the father of her children. And in so doing, you look for the best man. Only the best man will do. But it's only by certain types of women. Not all women. Only discerning women with some kind of wisdom that actually will go to that length. Because that's how I was. I'm like, okay, it's got to be a guy that I can say is the father of my children, And because I came from that kind of a polygamous family, in spite of the fact that my father was educated, I just said to myself at a very young age that I will not fall prey to this. I cannot do this. Looking at my stepmothers, my mother passed when I was a kid, a baby, like 4 years old, and by the age of 10, I knew already there's no way I'm falling for this. There is no way. And so I was just so blessed that God gave me my wishes.
God rewarded you.
God rewarded my wishes. And because he knew where I was coming from. And God, somehow, like when I said it, I'm kind of a golden child in spite of it all. I'm kind of Cinderella. So God rewarded my, you know, when you're by yourself and you're crying to yourself as a child, and you're praying for a different life, you're fantasizing about a different life, and you're praying that your fairy godmother, you know, you can say is God, is going to rescue you from this, and you will not be that you're looking at around you. The scenarios you're looking at around you is not going to be your portion. It's not going to be your life. That was it. And so having that prayer, that innocent prayer, at that age, I had the little wisdom to say, you know what, I'm not going through this. This is not going to happen to me. I'm not going to be with a man that will see me as a trophy, as will see me as not just a trophy, but I really have no say, because none of the women my father married, even though he was educated, could stand up to him. Not one of them, because they were not quite educated and they didn't have the sense to stand up for themselves. And of course, 99.9% of them, if not all of them, I'm just saying 99 because I have to think about it, didn't come from rich families. So they were basically given away to him, saying, oh, please, because we know
marry a doctor.
Yes, because she'll be in good hands if she's with you. So you can take her. You know, this girl is very smart. You know, she can start a business. So my father will marry them and give them money to start a business, and voila. I just couldn't. Seeing all that just dissuaded me from having to continue that tradition. I had to break the cycle. Not going to happen to me. Not going to happen to me. So I'm so oh my gosh, I'm so blessed that all my kids are here in Canada. My family is beautiful. I love my family. My kids are grown. They're independent and they're strong. The girls are strong. They're not going to let a man walk all over them. They will not do that. When I look at my daughters, I see me and I know, and I'm confident and proud that my daughters are the way they are.
I'm so proud of you. You know, you guys, you should search her up in Google, Fiona Brooks. You will read bio until you are married and your eyes are tired of reading about Fiona Brooks. She is one of our biggest celebrities here. Like when I tell you who that Fiona has not hosted in Calgary. From our biggest celebrities in Nigeria, when you talk of Davido, you talk of what are their names now? I don't even remember.
Flavor, Kiss Daniel, Two-Face, name them, Fido, all of them, and the king himself, the Oni of Ife, is one of my biggest interviews on YouTube.
Them into Canada and host them in her own home. Your husband is one of the people or men from a different planet. Like you said, it's all about believing and trusting in your partner. Like so many women wants to do what you're doing or what I'm doing or being there. But when you talk about the trust, their partner has to trust them to let them do what they love doing. Sometimes we come out and we say, if you love your spouse, support him, support her to do things. You will see that some of the spouses are resenting, you know, they don't want to give all the full support to their partner because they don't trust. They don't know what is going out there, or the trust has been broken
before, and it's hard to get it back. That's the one thing. Once you break a trust in a marriage, it is hard to get it back because it never leaves you. You may forgive and you may move on, but every little thing might remind you of that broken trust, and you now have that phobia. You do not want to get back there. You do not want that to happen to you again. You know, so you should always try not to break that trust.
Mm.
Otherwise, they say trust is earned, respect is earned too, right? But once you break it, you may repair it, but it never fully repairs. Just like a
It's like when
scar.
you break a glass, you can never.
Yeah, you can glue it back together, but you can still see all the scars on it. So it never really goes away.
Yeah.
You can choose to forgive, but a small thing can trigger that phobia, and you say, "Oh my God, we're going to go back there again." You know, you don't want to do that. Once you do that, it's eroded and never again.
Even
It will
your
become like Humpty Dumpty, you know,
Back on the
Humpty
wall.
Dumpty. When he fall down and he put it in
It's not
pieces,
broken.
it never comes back together again. You know, never, ever, ever. But you can choose to patch it and choose to live with what you have and appreciate what you have afterwards. It's not like it's the be all end all. You can still make it work. You can still
And
make it work.
sometimes when your partner is not giving you full support, your partner will not come out and tell you what happened before. But in his head, because he has forgiven, he has moved on, but that's still embedding in his head. He will not tell you, but his mind, subconscious mind, is telling him, what if I let her do this now? And what happened before will end up happening again. I don't want to hear this story. He will keep pulling back.
That's because okay, if some people really do not know how to deal with fame, because even a little power they get, they abuse it.
Yes.
Because you are somebody, people know you, people appreciate you, people watch you, people love you out there, doesn't mean you come home and disrespect your husband. In fact, you love him more and you appreciate him more because he gives you the wings to be who you want to be, to fly. Because it takes two to tango, right? And you bring your 100% game and he brings his 100% game and you put it together, that makes it 200%, right? The point is, when you have some people, when they have a little job, maybe they make more money than their husbands, they start disrespecting the man. Or maybe the man makes the most money and start disrespecting the woman. I mean, how do you expect that to work? Because it's not a subordinate and a master kind of relationship. It's a relationship of two equals. Some people will disagree with me that it's not, a man is there. Of course. It's a symbolic head of the family. It doesn't mean you cut my neck off and replace the head with my husband's head. It doesn't work that way.
But somebody has to wear that hat of
yes, and it can shift from topic to topic, from gift to gift. A woman knows how to take care of children. They are more nurturing because they're mothers. They give birth to they carry these children for 9 months, and when it's a natural thing for a woman to be a nurturer. It doesn't come natural to men. Men can be nurturers too, but it doesn't come natural to them.
Yes.
So when it comes to the child bringing up and all that stuff, the woman is the head there. So for example, if your child is maybe 5 years old and you tell them, go to mom, ask mom if mom says it's okay. So and then when it's other things, then the man is at the head of it, at the helm of it. And of course the head can shift from head to head, the woman to the man, based on the gifts and the talents of individuals, of the two people. If you're good at something, let your wife. If your wife is
at hand, the situation at hand can also
determine, right? If your wife is gifted at something, if your wife is gifted at cooking, I personally, I love cooking. I'm a foodie. I love to eat good food and I love to cook. I enjoy cooking, and in fact, because I love cooking, I hate washing dishes. So that's where my husband come in. Okay. So it's a division of labor kind of thing. That doesn't make him, he's a woman rapper according to some. Oh, no. My husband would gladly hold my purse if we're out there. If I'm doing, you hold proudly.
You carry your shoes.
Yes. If I'm tired and we're walking and maybe we're cooking for the party, you hold my shoes. And I'll do the same for him. Like, honestly, it's not, you should not bring your ego to your marriage, to your relationship. That's where it fails. That's where it just gets messed up, because ego always messes up things. If you are somebody that is maybe famous or even richer than your husband or richer than your wife. You shouldn't use that against them and make them feel unworthy or worthless and put them down. Oh, and then threaten them with that wealth or with that status. For example, if a woman says, "Well, they're unhappy," the man can say, "Oh, go ahead." Nobody will believe you. Maybe the man did something and the woman is threatening to go public. The man can, because of his status, will say, "Oh, nobody's going to believe you anyway. The people, everybody loves me. They're going to believe me over you." And then that you can use that to hold the woman down, to enslave her in that relationship, make her feel worthless and make her feel lower than low. And how can you be with a woman that feels low? And you were the one who put her there, or the other way around. How can a woman put her husband down so low, and you're proud that he's your husband? How can you be so proud to be that wife? You can't. So there's a lot of when we talk about marriage, there's a lot to talk about. A lot. A lot.
House, I will never stop talking.
Oh no, we can be here for 6 hours and just keep talking.
I'm telling you, I appreciate you so much, Fiona, again for taking out time off your busy schedule to be here today. I value you. I appreciate you for all you guys that follow me, that keep watching my channel every day on a daily basis. I applaud you guys. I love you guys. It's not easy. There are so many people out there, whether you're watching from Facebook, there are millions of live videos going on Facebook today. There are billions of live videos going on YouTube platform, but you made it deemed to be on this channel today. God bless you. Thank you. Follow Fiona Brooks on her YouTube channel. Check her out in Calgary. Check her in Wikipedia. Follow her on Facebook. Follow her on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram.
Yes.
We promise not to disappoint you guys. As long as this channel is concerned, we will keep bringing out different things about African marriages. I am looking forward to have people from Kenya, from Ghana, from Tanzania to learn, because it's a journey. Marriage is a journey. It's a learning process. If you are not yet married, you don't know where you will land yourself. You might fall in love with, you can be a Nigerian, fall in love with a white man, fall in love from somebody from Gambia, from Ghana. Days are gone when we choose who our children will marry. For us, most of us is your mother wants you to marry Igbo, father wants you to marry Yoruba. The dialogue seems endless.
Yes.
With this day and age, with social media being out there, most of the time, you don't need to go to school to find out who you're dealing with. You don't need to call somebody. You go on Google, you go on YouTube, you find, how does Nigerians marry a wife? Things will come out. How Gambians treat women. That's why I keep saying that the more, the merrier. Getting people from other tribe, from other tradition will make a very big impact, whether on this platform, whether globally, whether Facebook, it will make a very good impact. And again, guys, please, what Fiona and I said today is to the best of our knowledge.
Yes.
For people who just join, it's not 100% how things work, but this is what we see. We talk from experience. We talk from reading. We talk from doing research. We never
general experience. Anyway,
general experience. We're not sitting here today because I know how social media works. Tomorrow, somebody will say, "Oh, Fiona Brooks and Katia, the other day they said that Yoruba people marry 100 wives." That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about what we see and hear and experience. And you guys are welcome to chip into your own opinions. And this is why I love to read comments and address what you guys say. Cassie Wem said, "Come, you ladies should not change our traditions because our young daughters are." watching.
Our young daughters need to be educated too. You
Yes,
can never know it all. Knowledge, they say, is power. If you want
yes,
to empower yourself, you need to get knowledge.
yes.
You need to get knowledge, and you need to get the pros and cons of anything you're doing, because everything have two sides, really, good and bad,
Mhm,
favorable, unfavorable, happiness, unhappiness,
mhm,
pain and suffering, and pleasure. The point is, education is what we need. We need more education in our tradition, why we do things, how we do things, where we do things, and the reason why we do the things we're talking about. Some of them are good, some of them are outdated, and some of them we really didn't don't still today don't know why we started doing it. And some of these are obsolete. They need to be reformed, maybe not completely cancelled, because of course, if a woman wants to remain in that family after the husband dies, it should be her choice. It should be her choice, not the choice of the family to impose that marriage on her after she's uh, 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 becomes a widow. She should be given that choice and the option to either opt in or opt out. It should be her freedom to either leave, if she, especially if she was in a very bad marriage to begin with, an unequal marriage. Because unequal marriages have a way of being a depressive thing, being an enslavement
mhm.
uh, 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 um, thing, where the woman really have zero say. What the man says is what goes. If the man says it should cost you, I mean, it should take you 500 naira to cook a pot of soup, you have to figure it out. You have to figure it out to make sure that 500 is enough to feed the entire family. It's an example of, I'm not saying 500 naira, literally. It could be any amount that the husband deems
Mhm.
enough. The woman has to make it work. So the point we're trying to make is not like we're saying we're putting down tradition. We're not putting down tradition or saying the traditions are bad. Some are actually good, and we should definitely carry them forward.
Mhm.
Some need to be modified, need to be updated, need to be modernized, right? We don't live in the Bible times. We don't walk around with bare
Stone
feet.
age. It's
No, we don't walk around with bare feet today. No, we don't.
mhm,
Things have changed, things have evolved, and you have to evolve with times.
mhm, mhm.
You have to evolve with the times. You can't say, "Oh, we've been doing it this way for 1,000 years, so we have to keep doing it this way." Then you should
No.
be using latrine rather than washroom.
Latrine and not
Mhm.
using computer and cell phone.
Right.
Go
Then
and
why
use
did you modernize your own? Have the latest
the
stuff.
telegram, the things that the forefathers use. They put concom, the milk container, they put wire and they put in their ears.
Mhm.
Go and use
That's
it.
how they communicated.
Everything is learning process. You
Right.
gotta learn. Oh, Fina, somebody said that she just searched you on LinkedIn. I think she just followed you.
Oh,
Grafted technology. She said I enjoyed the topic. I just sent Fina Brooks on
oh,
LinkedIn. Bless you so much. Yes.
that's good.
Yes.
Thank you guys. And follow me on YouTube, The Fina Show. The Fina Show. It's
The
a new
Fina
channel.
show, please, guys, is
Yes.
it's Canada, and she's moving over to Nigeria. Guys, we appreciate you guys. Like I said, Fina and I don't come from the same time zone. She has different time zone, and I don't want to hold her for so much. We've been here for 2 hours. We agreed on 1 hour. Cassie still said, no, tradition should not be changed, please. Okay, that's
We're
okay.
not trying to change it.
So
We're putting it on the table. Let's
why
discuss
are
it.
you in Canada if it shouldn't change?
You should stay in your village.
Stay in the village and say you wouldn't be in the airplane. Our forefathers didn't fly the airplane. Stay in the
Right,
village.
right,
Live
right.
in
And they
the
tied wrapper on their waist or their chest for the women, and the men
ahead.
tied wrapper on their waist all day
Lovely
long.
Cherokee said that she will search Fina Brooks. Fina is making lots of waves here. Fina, you are
Thank you, guys.
terrific. Another person, Patrick Adams, say that Fina is terrific. Yes, I have to bring me and Fina have to talk. I think that me and Fina will have one day in a week, even if it's 30 minutes. We have to put a show together because all of you on this platform love Fina Brooks.
Thank you, guys. I love you guys too.
Look at all the quizzes. Everybody's searching you on Google, on Wikipedia, on LinkedIn, everywhere. Everybody wants to know who is Fiona Brooks. Somebody say, thank you, Dr. Katia at Fiona Brooks. Thanks you also. It was an interesting moment listening to you both today on this topic. God richly bless you. Thank you so much, Amos. You know, the good thing about life, let me share one good thing before I close this show. What is in life is that most of the times when you do things, whether you are trying to open a business, whether you're trying to run a show, whether you're trying to go to school, whether you're trying to do research, it's always easier and better for your own growth for you to get somebody who has more knowledge on the industry where you're trying to step in. So this is why I brought Fiona today, because she's more knowledgeable. She knows all these things. She has been in the media world for how many years, Fiona?
33 since 1988. That would be 33 years ago.
So, guys, what am I telling you guys?
And I've been married for 25.
Yes. So before she got married, she has been in this game of the social world, of being a media socialite or media producer, movie producer for 30-something years. So again, if you're dealing with somebody, if you want to grow, find somebody like Fiona Brooks. Find people that you know that they're higher up there. This is the only way you're going to learn and grow. Fiona, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming today. I love you, my sister. And I will definitely search Fiona Brooks. Somebody is saying...
I can't hide anymore. I can't hide anymore.
She can't hide. This man, her trophy is from Toronto to Nigeria.
Everywhere.
Awards everywhere.
I'm blessed. I cannot complain. I really have no reason to complain. I'm so blessed. So blessed. And if I can make it, you can make it. Anybody can make it. You just have to have a little bit of confidence in yourself and faith in God, and do your part, and God will do his part.
Yes.
It takes two to tango, even with God.
And don't give up in life. Just consistency is the key.
Right.
You have to consistently do what you do. Don't yet. Just stay where you are and keep pushing. Today, me and you, we talked about Oprah Winfrey. She's just celebrated her 67th birthday. I searched her up. She became millionaire at the age of 32. And then it took her another how many years to become a billionaire. And remember, those are the people that are born in this part of the world.
Yes.
And, you know, with all the ordeals, everything that she went through, being pregnant at the age of 14 to making it, find an idol or an icon that you guys want to watch. I keep telling you guys on this platform, I say, the videos, the kind of videos you watch, the kind of people you follow is the only thing that is going to enlighten you in life. Don't follow people that you will learn something from. You will begin and be...
You stay stagnant. You won't move up. And you complain to yourself, oh, how come my life is not changing? How come I haven't, like I used to, 5 years ago, I was even doing better than today. Your life should always be an improvement. Today should be an improvement of on yesterday and the week before. Next month should be an improvement of this month. We should always progress, always be better, always want to do better and be better. That's why the tradition is not that we want to eliminate it. We're very traditional people. We love our tradition. We love being who we are. But the tradition is our foundation. Being that, we still have to modernize it. There are certain part of it that needs to be gone because it's kind of an enslavement. That's the part we are talking about, not the whole tradition of marriage and culture. It is the part that is not working for certain people. It is the part that is discriminating. It is the part that puts people down. It is the part that will not see a woman as an equal, right? When I say I'm equal, doesn't mean we're challenging men's, superiority. We're all superior in the eyes of God. Okay, we are equal in marriage. When a 50-year-old man marries a 20-year-old woman, they're basically equal.
We're not
Because they
saying,
sleep in the same bed.
guys, we're not saying equal in terms of finance, because yesterday
No.
I talked about finance 50-50.
Yeah.
So don't get
In bed, they are equal. So if you're doing your business, and at that time you don't care if she's 20 and you're 50, because at that time you're communicating equally to achieve the same.
entanglement.
You are in the business of entanglement. You are equal at that very moment, and in most part of life, it should be equal as well. And of course, respect should be given. Every woman, regardless of your status and your fame or who you are, respect your husband,
of course,
and love him in spite of who he is. Because we're all human, and we expect the men to love and respect us as well, because respect is just reciprocal. It's reciprocal. It should be given. Everybody deserves to be loved and respected.
Yes,
everybody, even a 2-year-old.
Yes,
a 2-year-old expect to be respected. Because if you don't respect a child, you're giving them the impetus to talk back to you or to disrespect you. Because respect is reciprocal.
Guys, we really have to go. But Cassie is saying, Fina married to White. Things cannot be the same. 60% of what she said is correct. White or green or whatever. If you have a husband that understands, he doesn't have to be white to understand.
He's just a man, just like any other man.
There are white people who are bad. Don't think that it's only
all whites are good. No, absolutely not.
There are, in this channel, I have at least 4 or 5 people that are married to white, even though their life is bed of roses and stuff. But there are ones, even Nigerians, there are people who their married life is bed of roses.
Yes,
there
beautiful.
Are who are not. I cannot, not because I'm here in the public, I have the best marriage that anybody can ever dream of. I have it. I'm not going to come here and pretend and say this and say that. If you like, go and do the research, and whatever you're going to find is there to convince you that marriage is sweet if you find you are right.
Oh, yeah. Marriage is heaven. Marriage is actually heaven on earth if you have the right partner. But if you have the wrong partner, it is hell on earth.
It's hell.
And you want to choose wisely. You have to choose wisely for the right partner. Don't pick someone in a hurry or pick someone out of desperation because, oh, everybody else is getting married. Oh, at least let me manage this one. Don't manage a man or don't manage a woman because you're just setting yourself up for a life of hell.
Failure.
A life of hell, failure, and pain.
Failure.
It's painful. It is painful.
Lovely
because, oh goodness.
For sharing, Fiona Brooks. Fiona Brooks strengthen. Love you. Never, Katia, you never disappoint us. Oh, Katia, are you on daily? Yes, I am. I try so much to be on daily, at least 5 to 6 times a week. But I have a time, 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You will find me on this platform. But on weekends, I co-host. On Saturdays, I co-host with another. It's only on Saturday and Sunday that the time is different. Saturday, because everybody have different things to do. Because Monday to Friday, I run the show by myself. On Saturday, I run it with 2 other YouTubers. On Sundays, I run it with Vivian. And now I have Fina. But Fina and I, on her busy schedule, we're going to figure out, even if it's called 30-minute show with Fiona Brooks, you guys have to come and listen to the experts. So Patrick Adams, thank you so much. You guys, if you're not subscribed, do me a favor, click that red button on YouTube, subscribe and turn on the notification bell. I will definitely see you guys tomorrow right here by 1:30 Eastern Standard Time. I love you guys. We are all on a mission. When you leave this show, you tell somebody there is a lady called Katia Volino on YouTube. Please run and subscribe to her channel because she will never disappoint you. Lovely Cherokee says that. Thank you for sharing, Fiona Brooks. You never disappoint us. I love you guys so much.
Thank you guys for having us. And it was a pleasure being here. And I loved, I could still sit here and talk for hours. Just, I love you. And the fact that people are, connected, that makes it more encouraging as well. So thank you guys for watching, and thank you for subscribing to Katia's channel and maybe my channel.
Yes.
I'm not as consistent. I'm not as consistent as Katia. So because
you have an what do you have? Is that a school, an editing school, film school, and you work tirelessly from morning to morning, shooting videos, movies.
Yeah, and television. I have a television show. That is. So
she is our Oprah Winfrey in Canada. And this is Canada, Nigerian Oprah Winfrey, Fiona Brooks. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys. I'm humbled and honored. Thank you so much
for
having me. Thank you.
Trusted Technology. Love you guys.
Love you.